In chapter 12, Professor Umbridge, Harry and Ron filled Hermione in on what happened the night before with Seamus in that situation. And they were talking about that when Fred and George came up and talked to them about how hard this year is going to be for them because they have the Owls, which is their big exam coming up, kind of like compared to our SATs, ACTs, those kind of tests. So they're telling them how hard this year was going to be because Ron was looking at the class list and it was just insane for what they've been used to. And so they go through classes, they go through potions. No, not potions. The first class was history, which is very boring. Then was potions, which goes usually as it does for Harry, which he ends up getting bullied in some way because he did mess up in a potion. He even gripped his wand because he was getting so mad, but he needs to chill, honestly, with that. But he was kind of left out after that, and obviously Slytherins were, snickering and laughing about that. But Snape always makes that class hard for him, and they already expect that. So then they went from there to divination. But Harry had left Ron and Hermione at lunch because they were always arguing, and he was getting tired of it because they were arguing a lot, especially this book, and argued a good amount last book too. But he was getting tired of it, so he went on early and left lunch early, went to divination, and that was just focusing on dreams and like keeping a dream journal. And he didn't want to really go over his dreams because his dreams have mostly just been of that night at the end of the Goblet of Fire. And from there they went on to, I believe, Defense Against the Dark Arts, Professor Umbridge, and that went terribly. She basically changed the whole curriculum based off of the ministry and what they're doing, and they were not going to do any practice of these spells. Basically, the whole curriculum was just to learn about it, but not practice it the whole time until they take their test, which obviously everyone disagreed with because they had been practicing previously, especially with Professor Lupin and Moody. Well, I guess the fake Moody. But then they got into it. It was like, Harry was like, we're going to need to use these. And she was like, but who's going to be the one attacking you? And then Harry says, I don't know, maybe Voldemort. And then she's like, Voldemort is not back. And they went back and forth with that. Basically, Harry ended up yelling at her and saying that because she called him a liar. And then he brought up Cedric. And he got really mad. And then he got a note from Umbridge to take to McGonagall. And he ended up getting detention.